Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm a TV, radio and multimedia technician here at UCA. When I was at the BBC, we used to do quite a bit of filming on one of these, a mobile phone. And for most of us right now, it's probably your best bet if you want to get out and do some filming. So throwing together some tips. Some of them might seem a little bit obvious, believe me, they are not to everybody. And also, it's by no means comprehensive. Every single phone is different, they all have different features, but hopefully these tips will be enough to get you going. First up, clean your lens. This thing either hangs out in your hand or your pocket, so it's going to be covered in crud. Just give it a wipe. Phones can be really unforgiving when it comes to camera shake, so you do need to find yourself something that will act as a tripod. See? Perfect. You have lots of options here, and some of them are quite cheap. Here's a tip, the top of a selfie stick will attach itself to a tripod, and there are lots of different attachments you can get. And size isn't everything, some of these are tiny. And if you don't have anything like that, improvise. Turn on flight mode. Most phones can cope with filming through a call, but there are other distractions. And action! Mom! So just as when you're filming with a proper camera, sound is really important. Obviously mobile phones do have a microphone, but they tend to be too far away from your subject, and also they aren't particularly brilliant. There are lots of options available. This microphone cost me less than a tenner, and it's actually not that bad. You do need to make sure though it has the right connector. It needs a 4-pole connector to go into a mobile phone. Most microphones these days do come with an adapter, but you do need to check. Failing that, if you can't get hold of one of those, you could just use the headset that came with your mobile phone. It's got a pretty good microphone and it means you can get it closer to your subject. Failing that, you could just record something externally, for example on another mobile phone, and just have it closer to your subject. Get to know your settings. All phones are different and will have different features. Have a play with yours and work out which one's going to work best for you. Don't settle for autofocus. A lot of phones have their own opinions when it comes to focus, and they will just follow the action. A long press usually locks it in, or you can always have a look in the settings as well. Phones are also really opinionated when it comes to exposure, so a little bit of control over your lighting will probably help. Most phones come with a built-in flash or light, but it tends to be really, really harsh, and it's right next to the camera, giving you this horrible flat washed out look and really stark shadows. Use natural lighting as much as possible. If you can get hold of some lights, that would be brilliant. You can get them quite cheaply online. Otherwise, use what you've got around you. So this is literally just a light with some baking paper and some pegs on the bottom. And this is a small LED light from my daughter's bedroom with various settings on it. Okay, so it's not perfect, but it's a lot better. It's got rid of the dark shadows, and you can experiment and move things around and just have a play with whatever you can find at home. If you're filming yourself or doing a piece to camera, you really need to make sure that you are actually looking at the camera. You see, at the moment, I'm looking at myself. I look great, but it looks like I'm looking over your shoulder. Now, I'm talking to you. Don't use the zoom on the phone. Just don't do it. If you need your subject bigger, get closer if it's safe to do so. But zooming will just look crap. If you've got expandable memory, get yourself a nice big memory card. You're going to need a lot of space to record those films. If you don't, you're going to have to clear some space. And all those selfies, well, they're going to have to go. And finally, this is really important. Always, always film in landscape. There are very few reasons to film in portrait, and yet everyone does it. Unless you have a bloody good reason, film in landscape. Well, I hope these tips have been helpful and enough to get you started. So get creative, get filming, and have fun.